Welcome back. Thanks so much for joining us. We're going to skip gears here and go to our interview out in Southern California.
Orange County, to be exact.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're talking with Mary McDonough. She's on the phone with us. Welcome.
Welcome, Mary.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Hey, welcome so much. And you told us earlier that the weather is phenomenal out there.
Yeah, it's overcast and cloudy right now, but we are expecting a little bit of a heat wave later on.
Well, we've had our heat wave for this year. I hope we don't have another one.
We'll let you have it.
Yeah.
I hope you don't either.
Now, you're going to be coming to the Ozarks area in just a couple weeks. Can you tell us about how that all happened?
Yeah, well, I've always wanted to go to Branson, and with my book that has come out recently, someone suggested, well, you should go to Branson, and I'm going to the Fiddle Festival on the 26th and 27th and 28th. And so I'll be there signing my books, and I figured the combination of the two was a great excuse to go to a great place.
You bet.
Now, for people that don't know, as a child, you were an actor on a very popular television series back in the, what was it, the late 70s?
It was all through the 70s and into the early 80s. Yeah,
Okay.
the Waltons.
The Waltons, and you were one of the children on that show.
What was your character, Mary?
I was Erin Walton.
Okay. And how old were you when you played that part?
I started when I was 10, and I finished when I was about 21.
Wow. And there's a picture of her now on the screen.
And what we're looking at on the screen now is actually your book, Lessons from the Mountain. Is that right?
Uh-huh, what I learned from Erin Walton.
Oh, really? So you took your experiences as Erin and...
Now, is this just from the Walton series, or is it just your life on the set and what lessons you learned during that time?
It's a combination of my whole life and the show. It has fun anecdotes and behind-the-scenes antics of the show, my fond memories of the show and the cast members, and then it also goes on after the show ended and other things that I've done afterwards. But I guess coming full circle, realizing that the greatest lessons that I learned in my life are from the values of the Waltons. So it all just sort of comes full circle for me in writing the book.
Mm-hmm. Now, it's obviously in the book, but what have you done since the show?
Most recent, I was Mrs. Wilhoit on The New Adventures of Old Christine. I've done ER, Will and Grace, Boston Legal, and a lot of TV shows. I was diagnosed with lupus about 15 years ago, and I became an activist in Washington, D.C. for a voice for women's health issues and education. I'm a mom, all kinds of stuff.
So you're a working actor in that large industry down there. How hard is that in today's time to get work in Hollywood, being a child actor in the beginning?
Well, some of that is the story of the transition is in the book. It was really hard. The Waltons sort of typecast me in a way, and when I wanted to continue acting and working in the industry, it was a little bit different than the Walton image. So, and I had some tough times and made some difficult, dumb choices along the way, but the industry is very tough. I think it's even harder now, especially with the reality programming on. So it's a very difficult industry, and it's changed a lot since I was on the show.
Well, you are a quite busy person, and we're looking forward to you being here in a couple of weeks. And we want to let people know about the book that you're going to be coming. And where are you going to be signing those books at?
I'll be signing it at the Fiddle Festival in Branson, and I'll be there for those days. And there's a booth there next to the main stage.
Okay. All right. And will you be there for the entire time?
The Fiddle Festival goes on a little bit longer. I will be there Friday evening and most of the day Saturday and in the morning on Sunday.
Okay, well, good. Well, people need to come down. They'll need to make a point to come down and see you. And the book is called Lessons from the Mountain: What I Learned from Erin Walton by Mary McDonough. And thank you so much for taking the time. I know it's a little early there for you, and we appreciate you getting up for us and give us a shout on what you're going to be doing here in the Branson area in a couple of weeks.
Oh, well, thank you for having me, and I can't wait to, go floating with you. And barbecue. You promised me barbecue.
I was going to say, and the offer still stands. If we want to connect up somewhere, we'll be glad to take you on a float trip and show you what the Buffalo River is all about.
Oh my gosh, I would love it.
Thanks so much, Mary.
Thank you, Mary.
We'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye-bye.
Good night, Dan and Ann.
All right, good night.
All right, we'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk with Shirley Childs, as we wanted to earlier, and she's going to be telling us about the Parkinson's Walkathon, and then hopefully later on we'll talk more about that Fiddle Festival, and we'll call a representative up there in Branson, Missouri. So stay with us.